Okay, right. I'm going to show you the fault with the wipers. Basically, as I said earlier, they just have a mind of their own and they stop when they want, which is not ideal. I was driving home yesterday in the rain and they kept just deciding to turn off, which was really annoying. And ironically, when it's not raining, they just stay on for ages. So anyway, let's have a look. This should on. Okay, so wipers are on, as you can see, or wiper. And I take the stalk down to the off position, and they just keep going, and it keeps going, still going. And this is the issue, you just end up with a wiper and then it doesn't return back to the proper position, which is obviously down underneath the bonnet. It stops where it wants. This time it stops in the middle. Sometimes it stops right in front of your vision. So yeah, a little bit of an irritation. What it is, basically the wiper motor has brushes on it, and as the arm swings it hits the brushes, and when it completes its cycle it stops at the start position or stop position. But with this, where the brushes have worn down over 20 years, I mean this is a 1998 car, so you're talking about 22 years old, it's getting on a bit, even though it's only got 103,000 miles. So yeah, that's what's happened with this. I looked into getting a rebuild kit, but I just managed to get one from a eBay scrapper for £25, and I just thought, that's fine, it's been tested. I'm not expecting miracles, it's not a major issue with the car, it's just a minor irritant, but I'm here, I might as well fix that. So anyway, now I'm going to remove the old wiper unit. I'm going to film how I do that, and yeah, let's see how that goes. Right, so here we have the beautiful Jaguar 3.2 V8. This is the X308 version with the ZF gearbox. It's pretty much the same engine as in the XK, but that's a 4 litre version, much like the version that's in the XJR, the supercharged. This is just the basic, I say basic, it's the XJ 3.2 V8 Sport, XJ8. Beautiful engine. I've seen some of these on the forums with like 180,000 miles. So yeah, really good engine. And the great thing is now these cars are, you know, over 20 years old, the parts are so cheap. But yeah, as a car to own and drive and maintain, it's great. I mean, it's fantastic. The luxury is brilliant. The build quality, I might have been a little bit harsh before and said it was, you know, not great, and I forget it is a 22-year-old car. So yeah, brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to film myself removing the plastic panels by the windscreen wiper to get to this. We'll see what has to come off and how easy it is. Let's do it. Right, so the first thing I need to do is to remove the plastic surround by the windscreen, which are just little sort of hex screws, I guess, which is one of these. So I've removed everything I need to remove. Now I'll bring you in closer and just show you a quick look at what part we're replacing, where it is and how to get round to it. So here we are. This is the first piece of plastic I've removed. I'm not sure if that actually needs to come off yet, but I've undone the hex bolts as I said. I've removed these bits here, and here is our wiper motor. So what I'm going to start to do now is to unbolt around that. See how easy that is to remove, fingers crossed. And here's my replacement part, £20 on eBay. Okay, so having had a bit of a look, it appears I need to remove this because this is bolted onto the windscreen wiper motor. So I'll remove this whole section here. I say remove it, it's 2 bolts, so it's not really too much of an issue. And I need to undo the windscreen wiper itself, and hopefully it should just slot out. Let's see how easy that is. Okay, so just remove this nut here. Once again, it's key to have the right tools. I obviously couldn't get a straight ratchet in there because of the angle there. But with this, no problem at all. Okay, so I'm just undoing the final couple of nuts. This one is well hidden down there. Best way to get to it is to remove the bonnet seal and just get a spanner in there. However, once it's undone, what you really don't want is for this to fall into the engine bay, which is where one of these comes in. Telescopic magnet. These things are fantastic, they cost nothing and they save you hours of work. Just a little tip. Just to let you know, all the bolts and all the nuts are 10mm and the nut that holds the windscreen wiper on is a 17mm. My last Jaguar video where I replaced the aerial antenna, you remember I said that sometimes these jobs end up being bigger than you think? I've just had to remove the chassis which holds this module and also this to get to those two tiny little, I don't know if you can make them out, plastic screws there. There's one there and there's one underneath here somewhere. Yeah, this is the reality. Stuff appears easy but often isn't. Anyway, we get okay, so I now have the old part out. It's quite a big job this. Not a big job, but it's a lot more complicated and there's a lot more to remove than I thought there would be. There is a gasket that goes on the inside edge. My new second-hand part didn't come with that, so I'll just use the old gasket again. Okay, so it's roughly in position now, just got to sort out little details and bolt it up. Okay, so I'm just putting back the chassis for the electrical components and then bolting them back to that. And it's just a case of putting a few more bolts in. Got 3 to put along here, 2 underneath, and then there. Fingers crossed it should all work. Hello, it's now day 2 of fitting the windscreen wiper motor. I ran out of time yesterday. I just want to go through quickly the order that I took everything off in. I'd never done this before, and obviously it took longer because I'd never done it before. If I was to do it again, I could probably do it in about 20 minutes because I'd know which order to take things off and what I need to move to be able to get to certain things. So I'm just going to go through that quickly so it can save you some time. Okay, so as you can see, the windscreen wiper motor's now back in, which is just there. First thing I would take off would be this metal chassis here that runs along here, which holds these 2 modules in, because that actually bolts, the chassis itself bolts through the housing for the windscreen wiper motor, so you have to remove that in order to take out the bolts there, which are also on the windscreen wiper mount. So take that off, remove these modules, they just hang down, you don't need to worry about those. Then you have to remove all the plastic work, including this shroud here. Obviously you need to remove the windscreen wiper itself, which is just I think that was an 18mm bolt, and that just pops out, and then it's just a case of manoeuvring the windscreen wiper out. It is quite tight, it is fairly tight, but it is doable. It might be a little bit easier to remove the reservoir there as well, but I managed to get around it. Yes, that's basically just a quick overview of the order to take things off in. As you can see, I've just got to put the plastic work back on, and fingers crossed we're done. The only slight difference with this windscreen wiper motor to the one I had originally was it's got an earth cable, if you can just see there, which is now bolted to the bodywork to earth it. My original one didn't have that. Don't know why, just thought I'd mention it in case anyone has the same issue. Anyway, I'm going to put the plastic work back on, and then we shall try and see if this windscreen wiper motor works. Okay, so here we are back where we started yesterday. So, overall with this job, as with the first job, the aerial, it's a lot more fiddly than you think it's going to be. But fortunately, as with the aerial job, it's cheap. I mean, that windscreen wiper motor cost me, I think it was £25 delivered. It's probably taken a few hours. Certainly getting it out was a lot tougher than getting it back in. But as with every job, once you've done it once, it's a lot easier to, to put it back. So let's test this, see if we've been successful. Okay, I don't need the engine on. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it into the first position and see what happens. That seemed alright. Single wipe. Take it up again. And then switch it off. And it returns properly. I'm going to go full on. I want to test every setting to see if it definitely does work. So that's full on power. Swash the windscreen. And then turn it off. Well, I'm going to say that's a success. I'll try and say that's a success and fail miserably. Anyway, that's it. Job done. Thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. Yeah, the point of the channel is it's obviously not for financial reasons, because YouTube, you don't make any money, let's be honest. And if you're running a fleet of Brassic Classics, it does eat a bit of money, and especially if you're driving around in a 3.2 V8 Jaguar because you have a broken leg. It drinks fuel, but it's good fun. And the main point of me doing the whole channel is basically to motivate me to finish some of my cars, because I, like with all of us, you get those spurts of motivation, especially in the summer, and then the winter comes and you just think, oh, it's too cold, I don't want to do that. Whereas because I've got the channel, I've got people commenting and asking me questions, and can you show us how to do this, and that keeps me motivated, which is great. And now obviously I've got the workshop, which I move into at the 1st of February. That's going to make a whole lot of difference, because I won't have any distractions. But yeah, no, just a big thanks to everyone who's subscribed. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. And I shall see you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.